Hi everyone, it's Sam here. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to show you how to put together the 6x6 Magic Slider die set. I'm actually going to show you how to make this card here. So this one says, at the end of every storm there's always a rainbow, and when you pull this one it reveals the colourful rainbow. I've used my rain stencil on this one. I really like it actually. And then that just slides back down. This is on a side fold 6x6, so you've got your space there to write your message and it will stand up. And then some others I've got here. A cup of tea makes everything better. I love all the little icons here, the spoon and the tea bag and the lemon slices there. And then again you can reveal that one. We've got the beer one here. This is really good. Don't worry, beer happy. You can see Gemma's made this one. And she's done a little bit of masking there with that one as well. And this one I only came for the cake. Diet starts tomorrow. And these papers are all from the new collection as well. And then you've got this one here. Now this is a different version. So all of these show the colour section reveal in the middle here or at the bottom. But this one, pull this one, you can see the colour reveals itself at the top. That's going to be in a separate video and I'll be sharing that one very soon. And then again, just works exactly the same way. And that one says happy birthday to my blooming favourite human. So these are really fun to make, can be used with lots of your, own stash and also lots of my past collections, the different stamps that I've had there. It looks great with the stamps from the Simple Pop-Ups collection, which was the last one I launched, but also great with the animals, so like Heidi the hippo and Jerry the giraffe. They will look really good kind of popping into the scene there. So let me show you how to make it. So first of all, you want to die cut the main one here. So you can just pass that through. It'll go through a standard machine. If you've got one of your long extender plates, then you can just pass it through once. Otherwise, just tape it down and then you can just run it through and move it down the plate each time. But once you've cut that, just fold that in half and you've got your pocket there. I've then got my 6x6 card blank and I've just cut a piece here from the paper pad just to go on the back. And then this one is going to go on the top there, so that's about 5 3/4 squared. Okay, you've then got this one here which will cut your frame. So if you want to keep it in the die and use some ink, you can use this as a stencil and get the striped effect, which is on some of the samples. But I've also just inked up some paper here and then I've used some water on it to create kind of like the rain effect. But then I also thought, I've got my stencil, my rain stencil from my Whatever the Weather collection. So now I'm thinking this one. So the idea is that when you pull this up, it reveals the rainbow with all the colour. So just wanted to show you the two there. So if you don't have the stencil, you can just do a nice background like that, which still looks really good if you're doing this same kind of theme. So that's the frame cut. This one here is cut using this one. It does emboss pull, but once you ink it up or if you flip it over, and then you can just use the arrow, which is there. So you've got the option, if you want one or the other. So die cut one of those. This is all 300 GSM cardstock that I'm using. And then this is the layer to go on this piece if you want to. To be honest, I've never used it, but we've given it there as an option if you want to, have the matte and layer there. And then this one, you want to cut once in white card to stamp your image and colour, and then once with the acetate. Okay, I'm using a chrome plate on my Big Shot and it's cutting through acetate really easily. If it doesn't, it will definitely emboss it and then you can just snip around it. So what we want to do first of all is stamp our images. So you want these two pieces here. Okay, so I've got my rainbow and my sentiment. Now I'm going to just take the frame here first and just sit this over this piece so it's got an equal frame. Now you could, if you want, lightly draw a pencil mark around this. I'm just going to sit this in here and I'm going to have the rainbow so it runs. I'll move it a little bit over there in a minute when I remove the frame, and then the sentiment, and then I'll just move that across a little bit just so the ends of the rainbow are going to be just slightly hidden. But I think that's going to be fine. So I'm just going to use my VersaFine for this because I'm just stamping onto the cardstock. VersaFine is just great for detail and sentiments. Okay, now don't move the stamps. Leave the stamps where they are. I'm going to use Stazon ink next. So I'm just going to get some of that off. It doesn't matter. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much about this, but I'm just going to take a bit of it off and then move this and just make sure that you pop your acetate at the same marker. If your stamping platform has a corner, then you'll just pop it right down into the corner. but I'm just lining mine up with the same marker there. Now you just want to make sure that your acetate's nice and clean. I've already put my tape on mine, and make sure it's completely dry as well. You can always wipe underneath again if you want, but I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to sit that in there, hold that down. And now I'm using my Stazon. So this will stamp onto acetate, glass, metal, wood, lots of different surfaces. I also like to store my Stazon upside down. It's a felt pad. I just find that these are better upside down, and that way all the inks are always at the top. You want this to be nice and juicy. If it's dry, you'll find it will stick to the acetate, the actual stamps. You want this to be, so just make sure you've refilled it, because that's an old pad, but I just buy the refills. And then push that down, make sure you give it a nice press so you get a good transfer. Now let this dry. It's so tempting to go and use it, but it does need just a little bit of time. It will completely dry, but just set it aside for the minute. So once I'm going to colour that image, and you could be decorating things like this and stuff. So just leave it. You'll be able to see as well. I can see it's wet when I catch it in the light. So I'm going to just pop that to one side, and I'm going to colour that image. So next I want to stick this now inside of this pocket. So I'm just going to add my glue. There's a couple of ways to do this. I do show it differently on the craft stash videos, where I stick the acetate piece on first and then this. But I'm going to show you this way here. So just pop it down, and then just make sure that you've got it nice and straight. There we go, I'm happy with that. And just make sure it's not popping out. This, the square piece doesn't come out above the finger pull there. Okay, so that's all in place. And don't worry if it's slightly crooked in this bit, you don't see any of that. Then I'm going to take this one here, and the idea is that this is going to sit right over the top, and when you've lined it up it will be a perfect crisp image, which I think that pretty much is. But I need to move it again now because I want to take my tape off. You don't need to put the tape along the top, you can just put it on these two sides and the bottom, because you want to make sure it can fit through the gap there. This one does. And then I just like to lay that down, just kind of tack it in place, and then just drop that down. There we go. So you can see now we've got a perfect image, but if you've got a little bit of it coming out there, you can just snip that away. So I'm just going to very carefully just cut that out. There we go. Now I'm going to stick this piece down. And then this piece here is going to go through the middle. So that's how it's going to look from the front. So you've just got the rain coming down. At the end of every storm, there's always a rainbow. And then this is going to slide up through the middle and reveal the rainbow. I think it's a really nice way to use this set. It's the first time I've used a pattern on this piece here. So what you want to do first of all is, again, I'm conscious that that is still a bit wet, so I'm just going to keep it up like so. So you want to sit this one so it sits within the kind of shape here, this piece that's cut out, okay? And you've got this die in the set. You want to run that through twice if you're using a heavyweight card like I am. If you've got quite a lightweight card, then maybe run it through 3 times, and you want to stick them on top of each other. So I've got 2, so with the 2 straight pieces, you just want to sit them on top of each other. Like so, and then add your glue, and then this one, when you sit that, this one's going to go right along the bottom. You'll see it would just fit in there. Sure I'm in shot, and that's your stopper to stop this piece coming all the way down or coming out the bottom. So just make sure it's down past this slot here, then close it. And then slide this one up, but you don't want it to go past this part of the finger pull, so you just want to bring it up so it's just out of view there. Keep it nice and straight, and then again I'm just going to open this one up, and then you've got 4 pieces now, and you want to stick 2 together, Okay, so they're going to be facing that way. So I've stuck the left one down just so you can see how it looks. So it's right flush with the bottom, but it's next to this bar that you've already stuck down. So, and it runs next to this piece here. So just make sure it's flush with the bottom of the card. Like so. And then what you can do is a little test run with it. You want to make sure that it runs all the way down within the 2 tracks here. And obviously the bottom is the stopper. Okay, you can see it will run up all the way up there quite nicely. And just make sure that when it comes to the top, when you close it, it's all hidden within that bit there. So make sure, give your acetate one more kind of wipe from the inside here, because you're going to seal it up now. So just to make sure there's no marks on there, because you can always rub, I wouldn't rub it, but you can always wipe the top once that ink's dry. And then all I'm going to do is add my glue to the top of all of these strips. So this one, bottom one, and then all the way up here. And I would keep this tab out for the minute because you don't want to risk any glue. If you've got any large kind of areas where there's a lot of glue, just rub it out a little bit because you don't want it to go onto that pull tab. I'm just going to spread some of that out. There we go. Now I can just lay that down and your image should perfectly line up. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to stick the frame on top there. That's just going to break up the white space. Like so. And then I've got these here. So I've just paper pieced the flower and also the hearts. And I've cut my arrow there as well. So I'm going to have this one here again. It just breaks up some of that white space. You can stick onto the acetate here as well. On the other version, when the acetate pulls up from the top, that will be a little bit different, but that will all be explained in a separate video. But I'm going to have that one there. And then I think I'm going to have, yeah, this heart at the top. Kind of like them together. And then the green one. Could actually have the green one. No, that's going to clash with the blue when that comes down. So I think, I'm not actually sure if I need the green one. I might leave that one. And now if I close this down, because that glue's had time to dry, that will slide down nicely. And then I'm just going to add a little glue on my arrow. And that's just going to go there. And now I'm going to add some foam on the back there. And then I'm going to stick that down into the middle of the card. So there's the finished card. I've just put a little enamel dot there and I've used the accent glaze. This is a side fold. So you've got all your space there and obviously that will stand. And then just pull that one up and you've got your lovely colourful rainbow. I think it looks really nice, that one. I like the stencil detail on that piece. And then just again show you some others. You've got this one here. Love all the little icons there. Cup of tea makes everything better. Then you've got the beer o'clock one here. I really like this one. Like so. And then we've got the cake one here. I only came for the cake. Diet starts tomorrow. And you can see there, when they're dry, you know, it's fine. You can rub them and stuff. They're going to be okay. So just make sure you give it time to dry. So as always, thank you for watching. You'll find all of the products that I've used today in the description box below. And popping up now will be the 5x7 version and also the launch video. So it just show all of the card samples and the full collections. You'll see everything there. Take care and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.